Going back to the possible investment, has Joel Glazer spoken to you at all over the last couple of weeks?
No.
And on the international games, Casemiro's got injured playing for Brazil. Were you unhappy that he played in the Uruguay game, having come off in the first game injured against Venezuela?
You can't be unhappy. That are the rules. And he's playing for a nation, and he's playing for us. And now we all understand that Casemiro is a soldier, and he is available for every game. And so we will always give his best, and for the nation, and for Man United.
Did he get the injury in the first game or the second game? Do you know?
Yeah, he came the first game. He came off, but then he played the second game. It was an important game, but yeah, I'm sure. That game didn't help him, but it's a small injury, and he will return next week. It will be healed, and then he's ready for our next game, I'm sure.
Thank you.
James.
Eric, just on the injuries, you've had obviously terrible luck all season, and to your credit, you've never used that as an excuse. Do you feel, though, for the team to really hit a high level of consistency, you're going to need for these injuries to subside and get this squad back?
Absolutely. And if you can't use every time the same players, you can't bring in the routines, and some routines slipped away the last weeks, and that has a bad effect on the results. But as you said, I never use it as an excuse, because still we have a good squad, and still we have to win, and we have our principle and rules in our way of play. So the players should know what to do. But of course, in the cooperation, sometimes there are different combinations who are not played so often together, and then you get sometimes hesitation, and in such details, opponents take benefit from it. And but as you said, and as I said, you can never use it as an excuse.
Have you ever had as bad a injury situation or face one in your managerial career? Because you haven't been able to name your first choice team once this season.
No, I have dealt with it before, and sometimes you find yourself in such a bad place as a manager, as a coaching staff, as a team. And as I said, you have to make the best out of it, and to stick together, to be positive. And so I know when the players will return, we will play in high levels, absolutely.
Hi, Eric. With the Ineos minority investment, there is talk of a restructuring of the football business side of things. I just wondered, at what point would you like to get involved in that kind of conversation, because it seems quite fundamental to your job?
So at this moment I'm not involved, so I don't know. And what I know are the agreements I made once I signed this contract. And until I hear anything, I just keep focusing on my job, and focusing in this structure, and focusing on my job, and that is winning games and get the best out of this season.
And can I just ask one on Marcus Rashford? He's come off in the last 3 games, but then he scored for England in midweek, a really good goal. I just wondered what your thoughts on his situation at the moment.
I think it's very positive. He scored for England, and I think it was I think England was a very good performance. I really enjoyed that game, but also I enjoyed the players who were involved from us, and there you see the qualities. And I'm sure, the form was the last games maybe not that good, but I'm sure I will back them. I trust them, I believe in them, and I'm sure they will be back in a very good shape, and they will be very benefit to our game and to our result, and that will not take long.
Michael.
Hi Eric, just back to the injuries, is there any more news on any of the long-term absentees, the likes of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw? Are they any closer to coming back?
Of course they are closer, but so for instance Luke Shaw, I don't expect him back in this block of games. But for instance Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I don't think he's too far away for returning into team training, and so back in the team.
And what about Kobe Mainoo as well? Is he any closer as well?
He is close. He's already training with us. Not today, but I think next week he will have some minutes in the team, so then he can catch up his game minutes, and so he's really improving and ready to get back in the squad for teams, for games.
Last two, Will and Chris.
Hi Eric. In terms of Onana, obviously you say it takes a period of adjustment when coming into a new league and a new club. Has it not helped him that in front of him there's been injuries in defence, so the defence is changing each week? Do you think it would help him if he had a settled defence, and is he struggling because the people in front of him are changing and they have different attributes?
So when I got the question, and also previously, I will never use that as an excuse. And Andre is not doing as well. He's not talking about. But of course, that when every time you have a different defending line in front of you, it's not helpful. You don't get the routines, and that's a problem. But you have to deal with it. And but that's a situation where we are in. But it didn't help for the results. It didn't help his integration. Absolutely.
Last question, Chris.
On Victor again, as a manager, what's the process that you go through with a player in that kind of situation? Do you speak to him while he's abroad? Do you wait till he gets back and talk to him face to face? How do you manage that to make sure that the player's okay to play in the next game?
Yeah, first of all, we have here more people who then take care of the situation. We were direct in contact with him, the club, team management, play care, and I'm also was involved. I took straight contact with him, how he was, so the circumstances, so how he felt. I think that's most important. How are his emotions, and then then look what you can offer the player, how you can support him as a club, as a manager, and then once he returns, you have the conversation with him. So again, about feelings and how to move on, how to get back, so how to deal with the situation and how we can support him.
On the game tomorrow, it's an 8 p.m. start. You've got a Champions League game on Tuesday. Do you think that more could be done perhaps to help English clubs perform in Europe? Because obviously it's not ideal, is it?
I think it's time enough to recover. Yeah, I think it's okay, and that there is time from tomorrow 8 to Tuesday 8. There's enough time to recover and to prepare that game.
Thank you.